Greetings and welcome. This is Coach Veronica Marie, and I'm here to help you live a healthy and a happy life. Today, we're talking about emotional recovery after an argument. This is an awkward space for many people, and we all know how it feels to not be fully resolved because either the argument didn't end in resolve or because it just was a hard, intense space, right? So, emotional recovery is a thing. A lot of people want others, especially those who are experiencing significant pain, to bounce back to normal immediately or shortly after an argument. And this is unrealistic and not something to really go for because it involves taking time to process what you feel. It takes time to engage in some aftercare for self-care activities. And it's an opportunity to process further comments, right? So allowing yourself and others to move past these negative emotions naturally and into a calmer state will be beneficial. So I wouldn't ever joke and be like, "You still mad? You ready to," some people do that, or they want to immediately move into pre-argument activities. That is not wise, especially if a person is still recovering, and don't force yourself to do it if you are still recovering. We need to honor every stage and every space and where we are, right? So here are some keys that will help you recover emotionally in a healthy way. Number one, you need to acknowledge your emotions. Don't say you're over it when you're not. Don't say that you are resolved when you're not. That doesn't mean you have to go back into the argument. You can say, "This is not resolved for me and I need more time," something like that. Don't suppress how you feel. Sometimes people want to self correct. I shouldn't feel sad. I shouldn't feel mad. I should just, whatever the case is, acknowledge what you feel. Don't suppress it. Give your emotions labels, write about it, talk about it to a friend so that you can begin the process of understanding and knowing what you want to do after. Okay, you got to give yourself some time and some space to cool down sometimes. When the argument or conversation was very intense, you can still feel very negatively, and that can affect interactions. So some people may need some space, others don't. It just depends on the intensity and the individual. A good question to ask is, do you need space? And if so, what kind of space? Remember, I said self care is important. You have to go do things that promote your relaxation and the recovery of your nervous system. Arguments, disagreements, and hard conversations will cause emotional dysregulation. You need to practice self care to bring yourself back into a regulated state. Exercise, meditation, music, taking a walk, a bath, a drink, tea, whatever. And while you're still processing through and still feeling what you're feeling, it's a good idea to not try to spend too much focused time with the person. In other words, do something that is distracting. Maybe go to a movie or something where you're busy, because a lot of times the busyness can help soothe that awkward space. Once you have fully understood yourself, then you can look for spaces where you can become more empowered. A lot of times we feel resentful for a long time after arguments and such because we haven't processed into a space of empowerment. So understanding what you feel and validating your own feelings, that's one part. And then coming into realizing what was your role in it, how did you co create it, and what do you want to change for the betterment of your experience. And lastly, you may need to communicate again, but only do so once you feel normalized in a calmer state. And if you need help, definitely seek help. I do offer coaching for couples and individuals on my website at veronicamarie.com. I'm also on YouTube at Coach Veronica Marie, and you can follow me on this podcast. Please do consider doing so. Also, on my website, I have 3 books that can really help you work through a lot of inner issues and maybe things you can share within your relationship. And that is it for the day. My name is Coach Veronica Marie. Have a beautiful experience.